Hey, Laura Keats, welcome to week 4 of NTI. I want to start off with a couple of updates for you and some announcements. So first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who participated in the Google Meets this past week with the guided meditation and the read alouds. I appreciate you guys coming in and spending some time with us. The second thing is if you are having trouble completing all of the assignments for the week, or you are spending more than 2 hours per week on my assignments, please reach out to me and let me know so that I can accommodate you and help you. We can work through this together if you're not able to find the time. And I also don't want you to spend more than 2 to 2.5 hours per week on my work. So please reach out to me and let me know if you're experiencing that. And then lastly, we are getting ready to have a couple of projects. So this week in my class, you'll be doing a small project, a mini version of the project. And then the following week, you're going to be doing a bigger version of that project. So if you have any questions about turning in assignments this week, please reach out to me via Google Classroom or, through private comments or coming to the Google Meets. This week, it'll be your responsibility for uploading and sharing with me those projects. So again, if you have any questions, you can come to my Google Meets. I'm still doing them at 10 o'clock and at 12:30, or you can send me a private message. This week, though, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to be finishing up our unit on ancient India. We're going to be focusing on 2 empires. The first is the Gupta Empire, and the second is the Mauryan Empire. We're going to be looking at their culture, the spread of their culture, how they spread their culture, and then we're going to be looking at their lasting achievements. So we have 2 learning targets this week. The first learning target is I can describe the Mauryan and the Gupta empires. The second is I can identify cultural elements from the Mauryan and Gupta empires. I'm going to do a little bit of a recap here. So earlier this year, we've talked about empires, how they form. So I want us to think about what is an empire. An empire is a group of territories, city-states, or people under one ruler or government. Remember that we saw a lot of small city-states throughout these units become empires when they joined together. So a couple weeks ago when we looked at the geography of India, we know that the settlements started in the Indus River Valley. Because that area was good for farming. It was along a river. But as those territories began to expand, many of you noticed that the desert that was located near the Indus River Valley was not going to be a good place to settle because it doesn't have water, it doesn't have resources. So we start to see that city-states and groups of people in India are trying to find new locations. So they start moving towards the western and eastern Ghats, the Deccan Plateau, the Himalayan mountains, the Ganges River, trying to find a good location for their city-state. So I want us to take a moment to just think about how would a leader of a small city-state be able to create a large empire? I'm going to give you about 15 seconds to think about that. If I was the leader or you were the leader of a small city-state, how would you get another city-state to be a part of your empire? Many of you are thinking probably through conquering or through war, which is exactly how the Mauryan Empire was created. So the Mauryan Empire was created because early leaders were conquering other groups and taking their territory. The Mauryan Empire is important because it's the first empire to unite India. So we started seeing all of those different groups of people are expanding throughout India, all creating their own city-states. The Mauryan leaders were the first to create this unification of India. The second reason, or the second person that's important to the Mauryan Empire, is somebody named King Ashoka. The Mauryan Empire expanded its territory the most under this king, and he also was important for another reason. So he started attacking and conquering other groups of people, and he starts to think, why am I hurting people and causing so much pain and destruction? I should stop and teach the ways of Buddha. So he is going to he's going to go from conquering and going to war with other groups of people, and then he's going to start pushing these Buddhist ideas onto his empire. So his plan was to stop taking territories with violence. He wanted to use the philosophies of Buddhism as Mauryan law, and he wanted to build Buddhist temples and put teachings on display so that all people could have access to the philosophy of Buddhism in peace. Because of this, we see that Ashoka unifies India under very similar principles. Most people at this time were practicing Hinduism and Buddhism. So we see that the culture of the Mauryan Empire becomes strong. But we also see that Buddhism is spread from India all over Asia, where it's still practiced today. So these long-term effects of King Ashoka. So far we've talked about how many city-states were developing along the Indus River. We noticed that those people started to migrate into India. We've also talked last week about how Buddhism was started by Siddhartha. And we just got done talking about King Ashoka, who ruled with Buddhist values. This brings us to the next empire that we need to talk about, the Gupta Empire. So the Gupta Empire was ruled by the Gupta family for many years. Unlike King Ashoka, they ruled using war and conquering territories. However, they allowed people to practice religion freely, and because of this, we see that creativity is going to flourish and a lot of achievements are going to happen during this time. We see that the Gupta Empire is often called India's golden age. So a golden age is a period of time in which there's peace, happiness, and success. There's not a lot of war. There's not a lot of stress for people. And because people are free to live their life in peace and happiness, we see that a lot of accomplishments during this time happened. We see that Hindu and Buddhist universities are started. We see a lot of Hindu and Buddhist paintings and sculptures created during this time. We also have the idea of pi, or 3.14, and the use of mathematics is starting to spread. And then many literary works, a lot of Hindu teachings and Buddhist teachings and books are created during this time. So it's important to note that while the Mauryan Empire is known for its spread of Buddhism, the Gupta Empire is known for being India's golden age. So that completes the mini lesson for this week. The other activities that you have are going to give you some better insight and more information about the topics that we've covered. So let's take a look at what you will be doing this week in your Google Classroom for the week. So in order to access this week's activities, you will first need to go to your Google Classroom, where you will see April 27th through May 1st. You'll see that we have the Google Meet link, which the password is Laura Keats Wyatt. That's never going to change. I will still be there from 10 o'clock to 10:45 and 12:30 to 1:15. You have a bell ringer through the Google form, which most of you seem to be doing just fine in. You guys are just submitting that to turn it in. This is the live lesson that you are watching currently. You have a new activity or a new website this week called Edpuzzle. So Edpuzzle, once you click the link, it's going to ask you to sign in. Please make sure you sign in using your Google account. It's going to bring you to a video about the Mauryan Empire. You're going to learn more about King Ashoka and his and the way that he led India. You'll have a total of 9 different questions. So as the video plays, it'll stop you and prompt you to answer a question. It'll automatically be turned in using Edpuzzle, so you don't need to take any screenshots or anything like that. However, when you are finished with that, please make sure that you mark it as done on your assignment. The fourth assignment that you will be working on is the Actively Learn. You'll be reading an article about the Gupta Empire. Please make sure again that you are logging on using the Google feature here. Once you log on, it'll prompt you to go to the article, and then there is a series of questions. Again, you do not need to submit anything other than just marking it as done. The website will save all of your answers. Okay, so this is the activity board that I want to go into detail with. So this is the Mauryan Gupta Project Choice Board. You're going to have 2 things that you can look at. The first is the actual list of projects that you can participate in. You only need to choose 1 activity, okay? So I've given you 6 choices. You only need to do 1. Now, if you want to do another one, I will give you some extra credit on that. However, you are only responsible for completing one assignment this week. I'm going to say it again just for good effort. One assignment this week. Miss Wyatt, do I have to do more than one assignment? No, just do one assignment. But it's your choice. So you have 6 choices. The first is creating a comic strip with 3 sections describing the Mauryan and Gupta empires. The second choice is creating a test, a 10-question test with answers. The third is a Flipgrid video, which I have loved watching your Flipgrid videos. It makes me feel like we're interacting with each other. The fourth is a poem, creating a poem written from a person's view of the Mauryan or Gupta Empire. You can rhyme, you don't have to rhyme. The fifth option is a Google slideshow, giving me at least 5 slides describing the 2 empires. And then your last option is the soundtrack, creating a rap song or just a regular song that describes the Mauryan and Gupta empires. So within this choice board, you're going to see a bunch of links. These are just going to give you links to the actual projects themselves. So, for example, if I wanted to create a test, I can click this link. It's going to prompt me to make a copy. Please make a copy. This will give you your own document to work with. And then it's just going to give you a template. So it's giving you a little bit of direction, creating a 10-question test with answers. So then you are free to type in your questions and answers. However, it is not going to automatically be sent to me. So please make sure that you use the share button at the top here so that you can share it with me. My email address is all over the place, but if you have forgotten, it is andrea.wyatt@jefferson.kyschools.us. So please make sure that after you've completed any of these assignments that you're sharing this with Miss Wyatt. So those are what the links look like. The links are not going to give you any information. I'll show you about that in just a minute. So if you wanted to do Flipgrid, this is the link. Here's a document for the test, a slideshow link. You'll have a Google Doc for your rap song or for your song. If you want to record yourself, I've also given you a link for a Flipgrid that you can videotape yourself performing. And then lastly, the only thing that I think we haven't really gone over is the storyboard that website. So once you click the link, it's going to ask you to log on. Please make sure again that you're logging on using Google. Go ahead and let those terms and conditions apply. And once you get to the dashboard, you'll need to create a storyboard. So this is where you can upload background images. Obviously, if you're doing the Mauryan and Gupta empires, you're probably going to want to find something that's a little bit more outdoorsy, or maybe something more related to the culture. And then you're going to just add people, add text boxes, just to give me an idea of what you've learned about the Mauryan and the Gupta empire. So storyboard that, just make sure you're logging on to Google. It will automatically be sent to me on the website, so you don't need to worry about that. So if you have any questions about the choice board activities, please let me know. If you do not want to use the internet, you are more than welcome to do this paper pencil and just send me a picture to my email, which is also listed up top. So, Miss Wyatt, where can I get the information for that? So maybe you didn't get enough information from the article or the Edpuzzle video. I have created a site that you can click through that will give you tons of information. So if you wanted to know more about Ashoka, or you wanted to explore the edicts of Ashoka, the spread of Buddhism, or just information about the Gupta Empire, this information is available for you as well. The only thing I ask of you, and please make note of this, I do not want you to copy and paste from the internet. So please make sure that you're putting everything into your own words. You are welcome to take the photos that I've provided, but anything that you, any words that you're using or any text that you're using, please make sure that you are using your own words. So once again, when you go to turn this in, you are going to need to attach the document or you're going to need to share the document with me. There is no exit slip this week because the choice board project should take you quite a bit of time. Please don't spend more than 90 minutes on this activity. I'm thinking it would take about 25 to 45 minutes for you to complete this project. So if you start to feel overwhelmed or you want me to modify the assignment for you, please just reach out and let me know. However, everything else is a part of this week's lesson. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me via the Google Meet or through private messages. You guys are doing a fantastic job. I'm so proud of you. For those of you who do not know, we are not going to be returning to school this year, so it's important that you keep up with these assignments and keep up with the communication. We will see each other again next year, and I can't wait for that. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great week.